Eurovision fam, it's Alesia Michelle. We are going to go live today. It is day 8. It is only my day 3. But at this point, I've actually seen now all of the songs competing for the Eurovision 2019 Song Contest. So today is going to be a really, really important day to really get into what happened. All right, I'm going to give us a little bit of a minute for people to join. Hello, hello. I'm going to give a little minute for people to join, but honestly, today was a pretty awesome day. I really hope everyone can hear me clearly because the internet has not been that fast today. I still have yet to be able to upload some of the interviews that I've done, which is very frustrating. But don't worry, I'm definitely going to get those interviews to you as soon as possible. Yay. Okay, people can hear me. This is great. All right, well, maybe I should just start getting into things, and then we can always go back and talk about certain entries specifically. So first up today was Croatia. I hadn't seen Croatia's staging before, so it was really interesting. I would really kind of compare Croatia a little bit to Georgia in the sense that you have two songs that are pretty divisive and songs that I think going into rehearsals, a lot of people thought, okay, yeah, this song probably isn't going to qualify. But at the end of the day, I do think that, staging does make a difference. And even if you have a song that some folks think might not advance, you want to still put on a great show. And that's what I think Croatia's doing. And Georgia's also doing it. The staging for Croatia, not only does it make sense, it does look good. And of course, Rocco sounds great. But of course, we thought that Rocco was going to sound good. So there's that. Thank you, ESCRTE. Okay, let's talk about Lithuania. Or wait, let me talk about Malta, because Malta's up next. I preferred the styling that they had today, at least like the top that she had kind of worked. I don't know how I feel about the shorts with the long socks. I know they're kind of doing like projections on her and things like that, so she's sort of like a chameleon in a sense. But I didn't know how I felt about the shorts with the long socks. Like, I don't really know if that's like really a look that we want to go with. Slash, I think it kind of cuts her off in places that you don't necessarily want to be cut off at. So I wish that Malta would. I like the new top that they had in the staging today, other than just like the track jacket, but maybe bring back the damaged jeans. I just think we had to figure out what to do, because what they had before with just the track jacket and the jeans, I just thought it looked too regular. It looked too, oh, hey, here I am just here. Okay. I'm going to, let me get into Lithuania. At the end of the day, Lithuania is really not elevating the song in the way that they need it to. I think it is great, the fact that, honestly, Jerry just sounds good. He does sound good. I don't think the song is as bad as some people might think it is. I don't think that it is that bad, but ultimately it's just not competitive enough for this year at Eurovision, unfortunately. It's just relatively straightforward. I also would say there's a lot of dudes wearing black shirts and black pants. Mickey's doing it. John Lundvik's doing it. Jury Juice is doing it. A lot of male acts are doing the black t-shirt and the black pants, and we need to figure something out because it's just not popping. And then it almost makes people compare you to other entries. And let's be real, Lithuania is not holding up very well when you compare it to other countries, point blank. Let's talk about Russia. Yeah, let's talk about Russia. Well, before we talk about Russia, let me get into some of the comments that I see here. Hello, Jeffrey. Hi, TJ. Hey, Alex C. ESC RTE. Hey, Eurovision Temple. Opinions on the wide shots this year. I said this last night in my stream. I think it's going to be a little bit different. I have to see the show all together because seeing the snippets, yeah, I've seen quite a lot of wide shots. But I do think those shots are going to be filled with people, and I think it's going to be filled with hype people, hopefully, because Israel, I mean, it is a party city. I've only really been here like 3 days, and yeah, it's definitely a party city. They go out, they're live. So maybe the wide shots won't be so bad because you'll actually have an engaged audience. But again, I need to see it. I need to see the whole show together. So once we start having those run throughs and those dress rehearsals, I think that'll give us a better idea of what's actually going on. But I do think that there are some countries that have wide shots in their acts, and it doesn't look good. It's not helping. And I think that's a perfect segue to get into Russia. Here's the thing. There are a lot of people who didn't really like Russia's song when it came out, or they were underwhelmed, or they were expecting something different. So Russia really did need to kind of win some folks over. I think the people who love this song will still be in love, but I do think some of the diehard fans of the song are going to be put off by the staging. Put off to the point where they won't vote for it? No, but put off to the point where they're going to be upset with what is happening on stage? Absolutely. There are some wide shots in this staging that really shouldn't be there. And to be honest, I don't think that the delegation or the planning creative team wanted them there. So I think we're gonna have to probably have another rehearsal for Russia. I think Russia's team might request it. I don't know if they will or they won't, but I do think another run through because this staging needs some tighter camera angles, point blank, and the fact that they aren't having tighter camera angles, it does take away a little bit of the illusion that we're getting. I see some people asking me about other countries. I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna go through everything and then get to it. So someone said that Russia run the press room. Okay, great. Navard asked, can Russia win? Of course, Russia can win. I mean, I think this year, any country could kind of win. Any of those top countries that are in the top 10 in the betting odds right now probably could win. But I just don't have a feeling that Russia's winning this year because I think that there were some haters out there of Russia, and I don't think they're winning over any of those haters. I think in 2016 we had Russia haters, and folks got won over once they saw the staging. There were some people who didn't really like You're the Only One, and I think they got won over once they saw the whole package. This year with Scream, we really needed the staging to be impactful enough to win over some of those people, and that's just not happening. Oh, I will say I'm happy that he's in white because we have a lot of guys just wearing black t-shirts and black jeans. So I am happy that Sergey is in white. He looks good. He sounds good. But again, did I watch it and feel like, ooh, this could win? I didn't watch it and think, ooh, this could win. But factually speaking, I can say, well, of course Russia can win because, again, I think it's anyone's game this year. Let's talk about Albania. The styling is on point. I still get chills when I hear the song. Each time she goes into that guitar, like I get chills. And oh, the backing vocals, the those parts, oh, I still get chills. Albania is going to make an impact on the stage. I hope that impact is enough to carry it through to the final because I do think Albania deserves a place in the final. It's really good. She is literally in this like ring of fire. I had hoped that they would use the LEDs behind her a little bit more. I think we could have done some other things in the LEDs behind her, but this is me being picky because the staging is just, it's tight. They're not doing too much. They're keeping the focus on the vocal. They're keeping the focus on the power of this song. And again, I do think that this is an entry that deserves to make it into the final. And I hope that that strong vocal and kind of, I don't even necessarily want to say stripped down staging because it's not quite stripped down staging, but it isn't doing too much. It isn't being extra. And you know, you don't ever want to be too extra, because if you get too extra, then it seems like you're trying a little bit too hard. And we never want to try too hard. Let's move on to Norway. Look, I don't even know if it's possible for Kaino to hit a bum note. Because at this point, I've never heard them sing that song badly. It's just good. It's just really, really good. And I think for the folks who are kind of saying, uh-oh, Norway might be the shock non-qualifier fan favorite, I just don't see how that is possible. The song is strong. The staging is very tight. I know that there were complaints about the national final staging. I actually really liked the staging at the national final. I didn't mind it at all. And so they're doing something a little bit different now. We don't have the dancers, which I'm not going to lie, I actually miss the dancers. I liked the aspect of having the dancers, and then sort of you'd see them singing and you see sort of the dancers silhouetted and sort of opaque in the background. I really, really like that. I do miss that in the staging right now, but the styling is on point. There are no bum notes. This is a fun song. Look, it's in my top 10. You guys know that. So I'm still in love. I really am still in love with it. Let's talk about the Netherlands. The real question with the Netherlands is, could it still win? And I'm going to tell you, yes. The Netherlands absolutely could still win. Because here's the thing. When you already have a song that's really good, when you already have a song that's very popular, your challenge is to get on stage and point blank not jack it up. That's really what you have to do. You just can't jack it up. You have to keep it tight. And I think that that's exactly what the Netherlands is doing. They're not doing too much. They're doing just enough. And the intimacy that is being created with this performance, even with some of those wide camera angles, it almost feels like you're in a big arena and Duncan is still sat there singing right next to you. It's still intimate. It still feels that way. It still feels vulnerable, and that's what we needed, and that's what's happening on the stage. Oh, I should also say, when the Netherlands first performed, you could literally hear a pin drop in the press center. Like, it was so quiet. It was not quiet for any other act in the way that it was quiet for the Netherlands, which I think says a lot. Let's talk about North Macedonia. I'm going to be honest. Everyone said that the staging was really, really great last week, so I was really looking forward to seeing it today. So this is my first time seeing it. I thought it was good. I thought that North Macedonia wasn't doing too much, because we know they love to do too much. We know they love to do a lot on the stage and do a lot in a way that can hurt the song and the performance. However, I'm not a huge fan of the dress. I think the styling could be tightened up a whole lot. I think North Macedonia's styling could be tightened up a whole lot. I do like the mirrors, LED screens effect. She did sound great. Thank God. I mean, she sounded great. But I do think coming after the Netherlands is not to North Macedonia's advantage. And to be honest, I don't even know why they put them together in the running order, because, I mean, they didn't draw numbers. They were like selected, and I would have never had these right next to each other. I would have almost put Norway in between them just to give us a break. And so North Macedonia being placed where it is very troubling to me, and it's very strange, and I don't know why that is happening. Azerbaijan. I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean it literally, but I say it in theory. In theory, Russia should have sent what Azerbaijan said. Point blank, point blank, point blank. This is really, really good. I just, it's really good. It sounds good. It sounds actually great. Chingiz looks good. The staging is innovative. The staging it's Azerbaijan is doing it. They're really, really doing it. And if people ask me, could Azerbaijan Yeah, could Azerbaijan win? Yeah, I think they could because it's a good song. I do think the song has been kind of underrated in the Eurovision bubble, uh, and the staging is making people wake up and deservedly so. It's really really good. It's really strong and tight, and again the vocal is great. So yeah, so that's my recap on today. I did that pretty short, but we didn't have as many songs and countries to respond to that were participating today and rehearsing today. So let's get into these questions because I want to talk to you. You know, you're here for the real talk. You're here for the real. You're here for the real talk. Okay. So, hello world. Please tell me the Netherlands didn't mess up the rehearsal. They didn't. Uh, So then someone said with North Macedonia, she can't change the dress anymore. The mirrors are already recorded. Yeah, I was like, I think it's like LED, but I actually thought that was good. I thought that was a nice touch with the song because we're having this proud song and it is good. And I do think it is thoughtful staging, but she can definitely change the dress if she wants to. I mean, she absolutely can. We still have dress rehearsals, so she absolutely can change the dress if she wants to. Fernando asks, do you like Spain? I do like Spain, but I was not a huge fan of the staging. Jao says, Alesia, did you watch the new video from Portugal? I think it was the least Eurovision can do with all the messes. I did see the clip. I did see the clip. I'm excited to see the full performance, though. We need to see the full performance to see if the changes, to see if those changes that the delegation wanted are reflected, because that would be really great. Lee Lewis, thoughts on the UK? I talked about the UK yesterday. I thought actually the UK did really well. I was really pleased with the performance. I thought the vocal was good. I actually liked the staging as well. So that was still a win, in my opinion. Okay. How many dresses do people bring? Well, to be honest, if you're prepared, you should be bringing maybe 3 or 4, just in case. I mean, you never know what you want to go with. Eurovision Sarah asks, is Albania qualifying? I really hope so. With what they did on stage, I could still see Albania qualifying for me in my grand final. Who do I think is a safe qualifier in this semi? Well, in semi 2, I already did my semifinal 2 predictions. So all the people that I said were a safe qualifier for semifinal 2, I still agree that those people are safe qualifiers. I do think North Macedonia is in a little bit of trouble because I think they've always struggled in the past to qualify. And I don't think coming after the Netherlands is really helpful to them. Croatia, I don't think is going to qualify. Lithuania is not going to qualify. I do think Malta is going to qualify. I know Malta has had issues in the past, but I do think Malta is going to qualify this year. And yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm getting. Someone asked, do you see Malta in the top 3? I don't know if I see it in the top 3 because I will say with Michaela, I do think she could. Maybe if they could have created some type of mentee program with her and Lisa Ajax or even Isa. Because the thing is, Michaela needs a little bit of the attitude that Zena is serving. Actually, Zena could give away some of the attitude that she's serving because at times it's a little over the top and it comes off as semi-inauthentic. It comes off as a little bit like and extra, and she doesn't really need to do all about that. I do think, I said this in my live stream the other day, I do think Belarus could potentially qualify at this point, given what I saw on stage. I still don't necessarily have it in my personal final, but it's definitely not in my bottom anymore by any means. Alex, who is going to be the biggest shock non-qualifier? I don't really know. I don't know because I wonder, because when we say like shock non-qualifier, it's like, well, what is shocking? Is it a good song that stays behind? Because in semifinal 2, we have a lot of good songs, and a good song is going to be left in the dust. That's just what's going to happen. After all the rehearsals, which 5 do you think have the biggest chances to win? Sweden still has a chance to win. Netherlands still has a chance to win. Italy actually still has a chance to win. Russia does have a chance to win. and Azerbaijan. ESC Meals, I think Norway could be the shock non-qualifier as Estonia was in 2017. Well, first of all, I didn't think that Estonia not qualifying in 2017 was a shock because I called it. I didn't think that it was going to qualify anyway. And I actually do think that Norway is going to qualify, especially because of the running order. I think where Norway is coming does work to its advantage. It's standing out, and again, kind of, they have never hit a bum note. It just hasn't. It just hasn't happened. Uh, Art Boy, hi Alesia, I love your channel. Could you please just talk a little bit about what you thought of Armenia? Well, Armenia didn't rehearse today, but Armenia I actually thought was very good. But I do think Armenia is in trouble. I think Armenia could not qualify, but I don't know if it would necessarily be that shocking because, again, like I just said, um, you know, there's going to be a good song left behind in semifinal two. We know that. So I don't think that that'll be very shocking. But I do think Armenia could end up being that song that gets left behind, even though it was very good and the staging was good. We don't need all those wide shots, though. That is one performance I can tell you we need to just keep it on the stage. We need to keep it on the stage the entire time. There does not need to be one crowd shot, two crowd shots, three crowds. It needs to be zero. And we need to keep it focused on our performer because it's actually very, very good. Dot asked, someone asked, do you think the Netherlands could still win? That was one of the first things I said. Absolutely, the Netherlands can still absolutely win. Eurovision, Sarah asked, the best staging of today. The best staging of today from my perspective, it's weird. I have to give it to two people, or two countries. I'd say my best staging is probably Azerbaijan. I mean, they really are staging. Like, true story, they really are staging. ESC RTE, Australia is rising in the odds. Do you think Australia could win or get close? Absolutely. And they should. They should. What Australia is doing is absolutely amazing. I also would say my other winner for today is the Netherlands because they didn't jack it up. And I don't know what these other people are telling you, but as someone who loved the song before, I'm still in love. I don't like it any less. And it created intimacy. The fact that you can sit in an arena and sing to thousands and thousands of people and make it feel like you're sat in someone's living room playing the piano, and really still having that vulnerability come across. That's absolutely still happening with the Netherlands. Someone asked, did you like Greece's staging? Yes, I did. What else? Lucas asked, did Estonia get a rerun? They did. They did get a rerun. Estonia is still going to have some, I don't want to say challenges, but Estonia is still going to have some challenges because they're doing a lot with their staging, but I think that should be commended. And honestly, the team needs to get it together and make it come to life on stage, point blank, because we knew what they did in their national final. And if you can't at base rate just replicate what happened in the national final, I mean, like, what are you doing? I kind of had the same thing with Portugal's staging. It's like we weren't even getting what we got in the national final. And if you can't, elevate from a lower budget national final, what's going on here? Like, something is happening and we need to get it together and keep it tight. Hello World asked, what did the transparency box on Duncan's piano do exactly? I mean, it's just like lit up. It's just like an orb. I mean, it's good. I mean, what Netherlands is doing is good. There's nothing bad about it. The Netherlands can absolutely still win. The Netherlands should actually stay in first place in the betting odds because we are getting a full package. Truly, we are getting a full package. Thank you so much for the $5. Hey, thank you so much, Lily Loves. Love your channel. Nothing but support for you, my DMV ESC fan. Do you think Macedonia may get overshadowed by Russia having a similar design? Yes, I absolutely do, and that's kind of one of the things that I was already a little bit nervous for North Macedonia because the semi is so tough, and we knew we were going to get a good song left behind. And unfortunately, I do think North Macedonia might end up being the good song left behind. I think Armenia could also end up being a good song left behind, unfortunately. Frederick asks, why is Portugal so down in the bookmakers? Is it impossible to win now?
Yes.
Bernardo says yes. Look, at this point, I'm not seeing it, unfortunately. But again, gotta get the staging right. So I'm waiting for this run through when we see the show as a whole. Because once you start seeing everything as a whole, and you can kind of go, okay, what's really coming out? Because when you're watching the rehearsals and you see people go 3 times in a row, there's like a break, there's a pause, you have a breath to kind of hop back into an act. When you see them all together, that's really when you know who's going to shine and come through, and who's like, oh, I kind of forgot about that, even though I loved it. Someone says, hello, Mark from the Philippines. Hello, Jerry from Singapore. Marcus says, it'll be unfortunate if Romania doesn't qualify. It has so much potential. I actually think that Romania is going to qualify, though. I have a feeling that Romania might come through, and I think it will, because it really is different. The song does stand out. No country is doing staging like Romania. The song is not bad, and Esther sounds amazing. Her vocal is flawless. She's never hit a bum note either. Her and Kaino need to hang out and figure out like what the secret sauce is, because it just doesn't seem like they can hit a bum note. Someone asked me, when am I doing my top 10? Well, technically, I already did my top 10 pre-rehearsals, but yes, I am going to do an updated top 10 for you, of course. Because after you see the rehearsals, it does kind of change you a little bit. Hello from Ireland. Alex C says, hi, Bernardo. Luke says Romania is in between 2 sleepy-ish songs. It'll qualify. And I do actually agree with that. I think people saying that Romania won't qualify, I don't really understand the full logic, other than maybe you just don't really like the song. Maybe that's kind of a part of it. But I'm telling you, it stands out. I think it's good. And again, someone said, did you see Matt from ESC United today? They mentioned you. Yes, I did see Matt today. Alexander says Russia sucks big time. Do they? Look, I don't think that Russia is going to turn off any people with their staging, but I don't think they're picking up any fans with their staging. From my perspective, again, you guys know that I wasn't a huge fan of the song. It was sort of like middle of the road for me. It wasn't in my bottom, but I did think that it was still okay. But I don't know. Let's see. John Smith asked, could Ireland qualify, or will running order kill it? I think the running order is killing it, but the way that it looks on stage, it is so visual. I mean, they literally are using like pop art in it. So I'm hoping that that'll make it pop. And I do think that Ireland has a chance at qualifying after looking at the staging. I do think it has a chance. I really do. ESC Dim Pop says, why is Greece getting lower in the odds? Was our staging bad? The staging was not bad. I think just some other countries with a stronger historical backing and also showing up and having like good staging are kind of just coming above it. So it's knocking Greece down, but it doesn't really have anything to do with what Greece is doing on the stage, because I think at the end of the day, Greece is a surefire qualifier. There is no way that Greece is not qualifying this year. The staging is great. Katerin sounds amazing. It's going to do very, very well. Someone says, I don't think that France could win. He has no voice. He had a voice. He had a voice when he was performing the other day. Look, he's not a vocalist. Let's make no mistake. He's not a vocalist. He's singing, but he's not a vocalist. But when you have a full package, France has the full package. I was not a huge fan, but at this point, France has ticked up very high for me, and I think France absolutely has an opportunity to win, a real chance of winning. Al KS asked, did you like Albania today? I loved Albania today. Alexander Alex, do you enjoy the ESC bubble? Well, I feel like I'm kind of always in it to a certain extent. ESC Cumbria asks, can North Macedonia break their non-qualification streak this year? It'll be a tough battle. Jose asked, what do you think about Spain? I already commented on Spain. I already commented on Spain, but I like the song. I think the staging isn't necessarily doing it any favors. I don't think Spain is going to finish in the top 10, but I think that they can be proud of what they're serving and giving us this year at Eurovision. Patrick, Alesia, do you prefer Sarah McTurnan 22 or Taylor Swift 22? Sarah, I don't even like Taylor Swift. Y'all should know that. I don't have not one Taylor Swift album. I've never seen her. Well, that's not true. I have seen her in concert. I've never paid money to give her a single. No, I'm just not a Taylor Swift fan. But I don't really think that she's making music for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not so much about like I don't like her because I think she's bad. Like it's just not really my type of music that I want to listen to. So someone asked, what are my plans for the next few days? Well, I'm going to cover the red carpet. I'm going to try and snag some interviews on the red carpet. Then I am going to be hosting a Eurovision karaoke night at the Abram Hostel in Israel. It's going to be Sunday night. So if you are in Israel and you're looking for something to do Sunday night, maybe before you go to Euro Club, come through. They're going to be having karaoke, Eurovision karaoke with a live band. Yes, a live band. They'll have the lyrics for you so you can follow along to the lyrics, but you're going to be performing with a live band, which I think is pretty cool. So I really hope you come out. I will be there. I'm also going to be doing a vegan a food tour. I'm going to be definitely trying to hit up the Wee Wee Jam. I'm going to be having my meet and greet next Friday before the grand final on Saturday. So I'm really excited to be hanging out in Israel. I do have like an Israeli tour guide to take me out and around so then I don't just see all the touristy things. I can also see some like local stuff. I'm also going to be going to Jerusalem and the Dead Sea as well. So I'm very excited. I'm going to do a whole bunch of things while I am here. Chem asks, how does France have the full package? Bilal cannot sing. I'm telling you, I saw the rehearsal yesterday. It's good. France could win. Start preparing yourself now. But honestly, I would not be upset if France won. With what they did on the stage yesterday, it really was amazing. It was really great. Someone asked me, what do I think about the unnecessary wide shots? I already kind of talked about that earlier, so I won't touch on that. Lorenzo asked, Alesia, can you explain what the problem with the Italian rehearsal? Because in some photos and musically, it's great. Look, when you listen to some of the reviews of people like breaking down the performances, everyone's kind of nitpicking a little bit. At the end of the day, what Italy is doing on stage is enough. The song is still very much so good. I think Italy could still actually have an opportunity to come like top 3 in the televote and the juries, honestly. What they were doing on stage wasn't that bad at all. And if you're wondering really my in-depth opinions on Italy, you should watch my live stream from yesterday. It's on my channel and already upload. Someone says, France will win, I think. Yeah, maybe. Victoria says, so nice to hear you on the ESC Insight podcast. That was really fun. Hopefully I get to do it again. Arisa says, which artist has the worst outfit? I'm not going to lie. I was not a fan of North Macedonia's dress. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think we could have done green. But I'm just not a huge fan of what they decided to do. But low-key, almost the worst styling. I'm not a fan of Homegirl. With the leggings for sisters. I am not a fan. I just think we could put her, I guess it's her look to want to wear like leggings that are like pleather. And look, I love like a leather pleather legging, but could we put her in an outfit? Like could she be in something that is like styled? You know what I mean? It just looks like very off the rack. And at the end of the day, you're on the Eurovision stage. I want to see a performance and people at home want to see a performance. I don't want to be able to go home and buy the outfit. You know what I mean? What else? What about the staging of Azerbaijan? It was great. It was absolutely great. Pavel, do you think that North Macedonia can qualify? I think they're going to have an uphill battle. I already answered that. Someone asked me, what do you think of Germany staging? I talked about that yesterday, so we can talk about that then. I clean email. Shout out Australia. Shout out. Yeah. ESC Dim Pop. Do you think Cyprus could be a non-qualifier? Absolutely not. Cyprus is qualifying. Absolutely not. A sanity box. What's the best restaurant in Israel? How about someone tell us in the comments? Eurovision Song Festival. What about Belgium? I thought Belgium was fine. I think that Belgium's going to have a hard time qualifying, though. I absolutely think they're going to have a hard time qualifying. Someone asked the Barbara Dex Award. I think just Rocco's wings. I don't even think Rocco. I think we'll just take the wings off and give the Barbara Dex Award to the wings. John Smith says, just watch the Netherlands rehearsal, and maybe I'm just being fussy, but does this piano look really cheap and tacky? I would have preferred something like Molly Sterling. Well, first of all, John Smith, yes, you're being fussy. No one is going to be looking at the piano and thinking that it's cheap. And Molly Sterling didn't even qualify, so I don't think we want to have any of those reminders. I think that Duncan staging is very good. No one should be worried about that. Someone asked me to talk about Spain. I already did. So don't even comment anymore because I already did. Ariel, which countries do you think are buried in the running order? I think I'll just go in and actually pull up the running order for semifinal 2 because we had the second half of semifinal 2. So I'm going to try and stay on topic. I think Ireland is a bit buried. I think Latvia is buried, but rightfully so. I think Austria closing out the first half is tricky. I think it's a little bit tricky. And I do think even though North Macedonia is like second to last, I think people might get up after the Netherlands and be like, I got to get my life together. I'm crying. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And they're going to get up and go take a bathroom break and then maybe get some dip and then come back for Azerbaijan, unfortunately. And I was really hoping that wouldn't happen. But I don't know. What else? Callie Stir, who would you like to open or close the grand final? I think Israel should open the grand final. I mean, they're home. I think Israel should open. And then closing it out, maybe just Azerbaijan or Cyprus. Maybe Azerbaijan or Cyprus to close out. My personal dark horse for the year. Well, I guess in theory, if it's a personal dark horse to qualify, it would be Ireland because I really, really like that song. And I do think with the staging, they are doing something very different. No one else is doing it. My dark horse to win, I guess at this point, maybe Greece. Maybe Greece. I don't think Albania will win, even though I love this song. I really love it. But I have to think, I guess, of the odds. Let's do an odds check right now. So let's do an odds check because I think that there has been some shifting in the odds. So Netherlands is still on top of the odds, and I think they absolutely belong there. I think they're going to stay there likely. I don't know if Sweden is going to be enough to overtake them. I do think so. Russia is currently third in the betting odds. I expect Azerbaijan to continue ticking up. France is now number 5 in the betting odds. So I don't know if I could really say that France is a dark horse if they're number 5 in the betting odds. I think Malta might go down a bit. I think Malta may fall out of the top 10, not because anything is wrong with it. You guys know I love Malta, but because I think some other countries are ticking up. Other countries, honestly, like Australia. I think Australia needs to come up. I think it will come up a little bit. I do think after we get the semifinals, Greece is going to move up. I do imagine that Greece will move up. I think that North Macedonia might come down a little bit. North Macedonia currently right now is number 13. I think that's going to come down. Spain is number 14, but I do think Spain is going to come down a little bit. Denmark is number 18 in the odds, and that needs to come all the way down. I do think the United Kingdom should tick up a little bit. I think the United Kingdom vocally is doing something that people at home and casual Eurovision viewers are going to latch on to. He sounds amazing. What else do we have? I think in the odds, Germany is going to come down. Let's look at the bottom of the odds. So at the absolute bottom is Montenegro, and that makes sense. And then we have number 40, Latvia. I think that's a little bit unfair. But I don't think that Latvia has a great chance to qualify, and I don't think that they have a great chance to. I also don't think that they have a great chance to win. So I guess it makes sense to have them at the bottom. Georgia is 39. I think that makes sense. San Marino's 38, and I'm a little bit surprised at that because I don't think that they're going to perform that low. But I don't think that San Marino should be in the final personally, because there are other songs that are just better, in my opinion. 37 is Lithuania. That makes sense. Number 36 is Moldova. Belarus is still 35. So, but I do think Belarus. I really do think that Belarus could qualify. Again, I don't have it in my personal final just because there are other songs that I prefer more. But I was won over with the staging and the charisma of Zena, so I was happy about that. Okay, Luke asks, who are you personally wanting to interview at the orange carpet? Everybody whose song I like. I don't want to sit down and be fake and interview anyone if I'm not really loving the song. But I want to interview as many people as I possibly can. So yeah, I'm also going to share my full ranking with you all. You should know that. So I want everyone to know I will be sharing my full ranking. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to wrap up very, very soon. So any last questions? War W says, interview Chinguez, please. I hope so. I hit up their folks. I did email them to see if I could do that. Someone says that Sweden will prevail slowly but steady. I think that is very possible. I think in a year where you have a lot of risky, divisive entries, the kind of inoffensive one that sort of maybe comes third with the televote and third with the jury could potentially rise to the occasion. Steph, after every rehearsal you have watched, who do you think has a good chance of winning? I've kind of already talked about that, Steph. Floopy O is a fan favorite, a blessing or a curse. Well, I think that Toy for many was a fan favorite, not maybe for some of the Eurovision press, but I think a lot of Eurovision's fans loved it and it won. I actually don't even think that the Netherlands is necessarily a Eurovision press favorite. And I think the Netherlands still has a very strong chance at winning. Sean Mescal says, what betting site are you using? I look at the the Eurovision World odds one that kind of compiles all of them. So I just dropped that in the chat so you guys can check that out if you want. Ex-Eurovision Sarah, Albania should be higher in the fandom. I think it is actually pretty high, but I do think it has been underrated, and it's really, really good. It's really, really good. Someone asked, can you interview Bilal? Bilal, I would love to interview Bilal, but I'm sure it's going to be very difficult to do so. Studio Alex, do you like Serbia? I do like Serbia, but I do think for Serbia to qualify, it might actually end up being more of a struggle than some folks think. Misha says, would you want to go to Amsterdam if we win? Of course, but I'll go anywhere that Eurovision is held if I have the means and the ability to do so. Doug, who has the strongest stage presence? Janita is commanding. John Lundvik is very comfortable. Who else? Who else would I say? Katerin is mesmerizing. Conan is still, hypnotizing. Who else would I say was really standing out to me and commanding the stage? I mean, Mamu just looks really cool. Luca is just, I mean, he thinks he's the shit. You could tell. So he's doing it. Someone said, did you see Belgium's full video? I mean, I'm here in the press center right now. I don't know if I should do a scan. Yeah. So I'm here. So I've seen everything. Nikkei, who do you think will win big in jury votes but not on public votes? vice versa. I think we'll see some crazy discrepancies when it comes to, I think, Portugal. I think we're going to see some crazy discrepancies when it comes to Iceland. I think we'll see some crazy discrepancies when it comes to Russia. So I'm curious to see what ends up happening. Unknown 03 says Norway, Iceland will be surprise non-qualifiers. I think both are going to qualify. Ariel, do you think Iceland could take it? I'm not going to lie. Right now, I'm not seeing that. Right now, I don't know if that's a possibility. So who knows? Doug Dawson, who's the most telegenic with their performance? I mean, well, Victor Crone is really good looking. And he still looks really good looking. So I don't know. Daniel, do you think France has the best staging? I don't know about the best, but I do think that they have elevated their song with the story that they are telling to us on stage. Someone asked, do you like Israel so far? I really do. I'm having such a great time. And on that note, I'm going to close out today's live stream. Keep it here on my channel. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I've got way more content coming for you. Make sure to like this video and watch some of the other videos and like them too. You know that I am so excited for Eurovision 2019. I think this is going to be a really exciting year. I think this is going to be a really unpredictable year, and I'm just ready to buckle up and do this. It's going to be a good year. It really, really is.